welcome to a new vlog and trip report. Today we're traveling on the Zenngrund Railway, and here on the map you can see our route today. We're starting at Fürth main station and we're going all the way to Markt Erlbach. Usually this railway line only runs between Siegelsdorf and Markt Erlbach, but in the peak times it's lengthened until Fürth and Nürnberg. We're starting at Fürth main station during a very impressive sunrise. It was a wonderful morning, as you can see here, and now we can take a look at the arrival of my train today, which is a Lint 54. Here we can see the interior, which is very nice. It comes with comfortable seats, movable armrests, a small table and even power sockets, which is very nice for a regional train. We're now going to Siegelsdorf, where the railway line starts, so the beginning is not too interesting, but during this beautiful sunrise, of course, it was very beautiful. We are now on the railway line to Würzburg and we can listen to the sound of our train. And now we're slowly approaching Siegelsdorf, where the actual railway line starts. Here we are crossing the Main-Danube Canal, and now we can see that it's actually possible to connect the newer version of the Lint with the older version. As soon as we are reaching Siegelsdorf, we can see a Lint 54 of the new generation coupled together with a Lint 41 of the first generation. So that's quite interesting, and didn't know that this was possible, but we will see it in a second. So we are now approaching the station of Siegelsdorf. Also, the train that we see on the other platform now is a train of the Zenngrund Railway, which is now continuing on to Fürth and Nürnberg. Here we can see it. You can see the Lint 54, which is the same train that we are on right now. And now we will see the second train. As you can see here is the Lint 41, the smaller and older version of the Lint. As we are now also leaving the station of Siegelsdorf, we are also leaving the railway line to Würzburg, and now we're continuing on the railway line to Markt Erlbach. As we are following the river Zenn, we're now in the Zenn Valley, and therefore the railway line is also called Zenn Valley Railway. The first part until Langenzenn was opened in 1872. This is also the most important part of the railway line. After Langenzenn, the train got quite empty. We're then continuing on from Langenzenn to Wilhelmsdorf. This part was opened in 1892, and then the last part will bring us to Markt Erlbach. This part was opened in 1902. The railway line is almost 18 kilometers long, and from Siegelsdorf to Markt Erlbach we're gaining an altitude of around 80 meters. Most of this between Wilhelmsdorf and Markt Erlbach. Until Wilhelmsdorf we're in the valley, and then we're leaving the river and gaining some altitude until we reach Markt Erlbach. There are some plans to integrate this railway line in the S-Bahn of Nuremberg, but that's just a plan for the future. Right now it is a not electrified single-track railway line operated mainly with the Lint, either the 41 or the 54. Usually it's only the Lint 54 or one Lint 41, but as you saw, there was a train in double traction. That was the one going on to Nuremberg in peak times. We're now approaching the station of Wilhelmsdorf. There's another station called Wilhelmsdorf Mitte, which is a bit closer to the center. There's just a distance of around 800 meters between those two stations, but you cannot close this station here because this is a station with two tracks where we meet the oncoming train. here we can see it. It's a single Lint 41 that is only going to Siegelsdorf and then back to Markt Erlbach. My train here came from Nuremberg, but on the way back it will only go to Siegelsdorf. Therefore it's also only a single train. Now slowly leaving the Zen and we're gaining some altitude. This video is the start of a new series. On this day I was traveling in that area by train to discover a few of those branch lines, and we will see a lot of them in the upcoming videos. Here you can clearly see that we are now gaining altitude. We're now going to Adelsdorf and Eschenbach, and then we are reaching Markt Erlbach, which is the end of the line. It always have been the end of the line, so it's always very nice to see that the railway line is still existing in its full length in Germany. A lot of railway lines have been shortened or closed completely, so it's quite nice to see that this railway line is in full use. As the train was pretty empty now, we can take a look at the interior, which is quite interesting. One point is the Lint 54 itself, which is very long, it's quite impressive, and it's also quite interesting that we have 3 seats next to each other at some points of the train. Here we are approaching Markt Erlbach, the end of the line. Here I'm leaving the train. I then took the same train back, but that will not be part of this video. We will continue with my next railway line in the next video. But there was a bit of waiting time here in Markt Erlbach, so I used the time to discover a bit of the city center of Markt Erlbach. It's just a very small city, but it is quite beautiful. There is a little lake next to the church, which is quite beautiful. And then I went into the city center, which is small but very beautiful. And I got a pretzel and a hot coffee at a local bakery. So that was a quite nice stop. Here you can see when my next train video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.